Greetings, magical souls. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. These energies of late have really been pushing me to the limit. And I just wonder how you are doing. Very up and down at the moment, from one day to the next, sometimes one moment to the next. I'm not quite sure what space I'm going to find myself in. But nevertheless, here we are. And when I do have my good moments, I'm creating in those, and sometimes they're very few and far between. But here we are. So I've come on today just to share something. And it was very interesting for me yesterday. I, yesterday morning, well, look, the cats have been weird. My cats have been weird for probably the past week. And yesterday morning, something really interesting happened. And it's not really a subject for this video, but I think what I'm really feeling like we're experiencing at the moment is that this mimic grid or this false grid is really in its death throes. And I feel like it's trying to get its hooks into us in any way, shape, or form at the moment. But it was really interesting because since about last Friday, I've been a very low space apart from the occasional little burst of something that I get in. And yesterday morning I was lying in bed and I could feel that I was being almost like sucked into a very negative spiral again when I'd actually woken up okay. And what was so interesting is that my one cat, my cats, I'm very connected with both of my cats, but my boy Jake is he and I are very connected. And in fact, I think he's more like a familiar than just a cat. He's always on me, he's always sleeping with me, he's always helping me with work. He even helps me in my healing sessions and my animal communication sessions. Anyway, what was really interesting is that as I was sort of like really getting sucked into this very low space, he started to almost howl at the bottom of the bed to the point that I looked up and I thought, like, what is going on? Because he doesn't do that. And then I kind of just reached my hand down and was like, okay, there's nothing wrong, da da da. It's just the energies. And the next minute, I'm lying there and the tears start, and I feel myself getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And he walks up to me and he lays into me like my hand, like completely just chomps down on my hand to the point that I like shriek and pulled out of the space that I'm in. And I'm asking him to like let me go because we play from time to time and he'll get a bit rough and then I'll say, Jakey, please let me go. And he retracts his claws and and I know he's just playing, but he would not let me go. And he had his teeth and his front claws in my hand. And then he started to kick with his back feet. And I was like, Jakey, please let me go. Please let me go. And he was not letting me go. Anyway, about 2 minutes later, he eventually let me go. There was, after much blood was shed, and I had to get up out of bed and what have you. And it was really interesting because I only realized afterwards that he had completely pulled me out of whatever I was getting sucked into. So really interesting. Anyway, so needless to say, a couple of hours later, I'm okay. I'm actually on a bit of a high note, funnily enough. And I all of a sudden hear this like howling again. And I find my two cats sitting in the garage just howling. That's so unusual. And interestingly enough, the a couple of hours later, the emergency warning started about the tsunami that supposedly is, imminent here in New Zealand. And I think that partially my cats might be reacting. We all know the animals feel things that before we do, all these kind of natural movements in the earth. They all feel them long before we do. I mean, I think that's why the animals have been leaving Yellowstone Park and all of these things are happening. So after, before the alarms started going off and whatever, I was sitting there having my lunch and I thought, well, why don't I play them my container? I mean, like, duh. So anyway, so I got out I got out my computer, I put it down on the table. Oh, they were just loving it. I was busy making my lunch. Jake was actually lying on the dining room table next to the computer, totally zenned out. Pixie was underneath the dining room table. And imagine my surprise and utter horror when an ad blasted out the middle of my brand new container. And I had a little bit of a moment where I stopped doing what I was doing in the kitchen and I was looking at the computer going, is this really happening? Am I seeing this? Is this a Twilight Zone? Like, what the actual fuck? And excuse my French, but I'm really, really wound up about this because you all know about the post that I put on YouTube 2 weeks ago where I had to take down the other containers for copyright claims because I couldn't control where the ads would be. And now I have it in my new container where I have said where I want the ads to be. So I go, all right, either I've just had this really surreal experience and I am really now losing my mind, or this really did just happen. So I spend an hour or so going and looking and on my channel, and I can't see this little bar that I normally see, which is where I can say where I want the ads placed. And I think, okay, well, maybe I can't see it in an ad that's in a video that's already done. So I try and upload another little video just to go through the screens because if you don't know when you're on YouTube, there's a process that you've got to go through when you're uploading your videos. And I get to the screen where I'm normally used to seeing this little bar and it's not there. So I go, wow, that's odd. So then I spend another half hour going onto YouTube. How can I see where I can choose where I want to put my ads? I'm getting a whole lot of garbage coming at me, like videos from 8 years ago and 3 years ago. And I'm going, yeah, this is really not what I want. And eventually I get something from Google and it says, here are the steps to remove monetizing off a video. So I go, okay, well, I can't find anything else. So let me go with this. This is the next best thing. Let me just remove everything from this video. Like, how can I remove it from being monetized at all? Because this is now where I am. And imagine my surprise that at the top of the block, under the steps of what I need to do, it says there, YouTube has removed the option for creators to say where they want adverts to be placed. YouTube will now decide where the ads are going to be placed. And I go, isn't that just very interesting? So after all this work, and after I just thought it was copyright, and now there seems to have been a new change. And I know YouTube are doing this all the time. I mean, they just keep changing things. Anyway, so I sit there and I go, okay. So then I try and go in and I try to remove monetization from the video. And now I can't find that button that I used to. I'm sure I saw that one stage where you could toggle monetization off or on per video. And I cannot for love nor money find this. And I continue to search the web. And then I even go and ask my AI, like, what is this a new thing? Is this a, and it gives me the same steps. And I go, but that's buttons not even there anymore. It's not even an option. So anyway, so something's changed, and nowhere on the web can I find out exactly how to get around this. So I sit there for about an hour, really, really stewing, and I'm I'm really, really upset about this. And you guys know how I feel about my animals, and I cannot have my sound frequency work, particularly for the animals, being compromised in any way, shape, or form. The animals are why I get up in the morning. The animals are part of the reason why I'm here on this earth. And if I cannot help and if I cannot do this work in the highest frequency that I am, me in my highest state, and share that, and the platform that I share that with the whole world happens to be this one. If I can't do that, well, it's kind of like, well, why do I even have the channel? And I mean, I know I do other things on this channel besides help the animals, but the point I'm trying to make is that the animals are critically important to me. Like, I actually don't give a fuck about anything else. And I just sat there and I thought, I'm gonna just shelve YouTube. I'm just gonna actually close down my channel. I'm gonna get off YouTube. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I've got to find another way. And I was so, 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 so upset about this. And I still am to a certain degree because I was really excited when my channel got monetized. And not because it was going to make me rich, because money's never been my intention here, but just because I thought it would be a little bit of an income on the side that would just help me to keep creating the content. It would just help me to keep afloat, like my Patreon does, and various little things. I just thought it would be a little way to sustain that very 3D part of my rather magical life. And why I was so upset about this was like yesterday was like I should never have monetized my channel because I feel like I have compromised everything that I stand for and all the work I'm trying to do on this channel. It's all been compromised by this thing called greed. And it's not my greed. It's greed. It's the greed of the false construct. And this is really where I was finding myself. I was sitting there for a while and I was exploring options and I thought, well, I suppose I could put all my containers just as sound files on my website. But I know that sometimes people just want to stream things. And because my website, I sell physical products that I ship from New Zealand, my website is set up so that, I can't distinguish between the orders. So if somebody goes in and they just want to download a file, it's still asking for your address and your phone number. And because a product's a product, that's how my website is, that's how it works. So every time somebody wants a container or whatever that they've got to go in and put in their email address and their name and their bloody address and the phone number. And, it was just like, this is going to make this really, really. I mean, if anybody's feeling like me at the moment, where they're completely worn out and tired, and some days you can't just get out of bed and you're just so demotivated and whatever, that's just really another block to people who pretty much have really easy access to my containers at the moment. They subscribe to my YouTube channel, they can go on there, they can put on a playlist, they can play it whenever they want. There isn't, it's easy. And that's the thing, because sometimes when things are too hard, I mean, it's just, well, sometimes I just don't even bother. If I can see, if I want to get something from somebody and it becomes too difficult, well, I go, "Oh, to hell with this, I don't want it." And even sometimes, when I'm on somebody's website, and even though I don't do this because I don't spam people who sign up to my newsletter, and if you are downloading something from me, if you're downloading a product from me, a digital file or an event or something like that, you don't automatically go onto my emailing list. You actually have to subscribe to my newsletter to go onto my emailing list. And even then, my newsletters are few and far between. I only send them out when I want to. But I know that every time I go onto somebody's website to download something, that I'm going to get spammed out of sight from them. And this is just what the world's become. And it struck me as I was sitting there just how visible all this fuckery is actually becoming. It's just, and it's actually a good thing because the illusion is collapsing and we're starting to really see things for what they are. And so anyway, so I thought to myself, well, the option of me putting it on my website it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right for me to have to go onto YouTube and say, hey guys, I've got a new container. Here's the link, and you'll need to go and download it from our website. Like that's just an extra step for people. And quite frankly, all of us are fucking tired and, whatever. So and then I thought, well, maybe I can go onto Vimeo. I can give you a link to go to Vimeo and then you can just stream it from there. And then I find out that Vimeo is now paid. I've got to have a subscription to Vimeo. I've got to pay for it every month if I want to put videos on there ad free. And I'm sitting there and I'm just going, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because this is the platform that I use to reach loads of people. And if my containers, I mean, all the comments that I get on my containers, and even people that reach out to me through email to tell me the experiences they've had with the animals and their containers, I know they help. And for me to be small-minded and just go, oh, I'm just going to pull down my whole channel into hell with it. I'll just sit here in my little private cabin every day and send the and planet energy. I go, that's really small-minded of me. And maybe I should just actually put on my big girl pants and haul myself out of my fucking pity party and find a real solution to this problem, because taking down my YouTube channel just cuts all those animals off from those containers. I was sitting there just in the quiet, really going like, what the fuck have I done by monetizing my channel? I mean, I was so, so distraught and disheartened by this whole thing. And and I thought, well, let me demonetize my channel. And I thought, but then I lose my members, and then I lose the community. It isn't about the money, it's about the community that I'm trying to grow. And it's about the deeper space that I want to have to work in. So it's like kind of now I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and I'm going, but I don't want to lose all those things. And my merch is being birthed as we speak, and I want to be able to show some of my merch, which I can't do if my channel's not monetized. So there's all of these kinds of things that are happening, and I'm still sitting there going, fuck, the timing of your merch couldn't be worse, like hell's bells. And it's just all these things. It's like I keep getting the timing wrong with all of these things, and I don't know what that's about. But I know that the bigger part of me knows this, but human me has not worked out why I keep getting things so wrong timing wise. Well, that's what it appears to be like. So anyway, as I'm sitting there with all of this going through my mind, I have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful quiet voice that enters, which I always know is either my team or my higher self. And it says, why don't you just create a new channel? And I go, yeah, create a new channel, create a new channel, create a new channel, create a new channel, create a new channel. Oh my word. And all of a sudden I am lit. It's like, this is it. This is it. This is what I can do. I can have almost like a sub channel. And I go, wow, because that's still on YouTube. If it's a brand new channel, it won't be monetized, and I can never monetize it, even if it does grow, which I don't expect it to, because it's going to be a sacred space. And I don't think that all of the people that follow me on this channel use my containers or all my meditations. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but so I thought that is brilliant. That feels right. And then I thought, okay, so how do I go about this? So really what's happened is I have created a new channel, and I have given it the exact same banner and the exact same look and feel as this channel. So people know my little logo is there, so people know that it's me. And I have linked that channel in, I've added a new link into all the bio of this channel I've called it sub channel, and that channel can be found there. And this is my new channel, which is almost basically just a private, beautiful frequency space to be held for all my sound work, all my frequency work, all the work that needs to stay clear and held in that high frequency. And it's really almost essentially a little playlist for these beautiful those playlists that I had for my meditations and my containers have just moved into this new space. So that's all I've really done is I've split my content between these two channels. So on here, I'm going to continue to do all the fun card readings and all the fun dragon stuff and the lives and the engage with my audience and build my community and whatever it is that I'm going to share and have our wild laugh down, falling down, crying, despair moments, whatever it is. And that space, which I've called the quiet flame, because it is still held very much by the dragons, as is this one. That space is where you can go and find all the containers. And the most beautiful, beautiful part of all of this is that I can now reload all of the old containers that I was having these copyright issues with on there for people to still listen to. And they can at least be on there for people to use. I do know that some people still listen to my old containers because every now and again I'll have somebody reach out either via email or just comment on a really old container going, wow, this was so awesome and this and this and this happened. So, and I know that each and every animal is unique. And even though those containers are old, some people find that their animals love that one particular container that just works for their animal. So for now, I'm really excited about that because it means I can leave them as is and I can just add more. You know, I don't have to change those or alter them or remove them. They can stay exactly as they were created in this beautiful new space. So, as I said, the human meditations are also here because, I mean, all of those things have now that I can't control where the ads are, all of that work has been compromised as well. And then this leads me to my next point of this 8-8 portal that's coming up that I wanted to do this. I was really thinking of creating a video for it because, as I say, I don't know where my energy is going to be and I don't want to show up live and then I'm in a really low space because then it's not fair for me to hold space for everybody else. So that video of Lionsgate, if I put that on this channel, when anybody tries to go into that space and really open up and do that activation, you're going to have the same thing. There's going to be an ad somewhere. So I've created another playlist on the Quiet Flame, which will be for activations, for ceremonies, for any kind of portal work, anything that I want to share that is a meditation of some sort or a space where we want to go into and we want to open up and we want to receive and we want to let go and we really want to be in that safe held space. That will be on the Quiet Flame. That is the new home of where all the sacred sound frequency work will be done. So I have put a link in the description of this video where you can just go and click. And if you want to subscribe to the Quiet Flame, you can, because then you will see any new things that go along there. But for the meantime, and for the next maybe few containers that are released, if I put any new meditations on there, I'll just pop up a little community post on this channel with a link to those videos if anybody wants to watch them. But if that sounds like a space that you would like to subscribe to, as I said, I don't imagine it's going to have that many subscribers, but it's really going to be a very, very quiet, sacred space held by the dragons for this beautiful, beautiful frequency work that I still want to continue to do. So although yesterday I was in this really low space and I was ready to just shelve everything, I will not be deterred and I will not be stopped. I will not be stopped by this false system that is just hanging on by threads at the moment. And I will continue to do the work that I feel that I have come here to do. But it just means that it's not going to live in this space anymore. It's still in my space. It's just in another space. So I just wanted to come on today to just really share that. and to also remind you to please make use of the container, particularly the new one. I am busy with other new ones at the moment. I have ideas for them. I just haven't got round to it because I've not been in the right space to create them. But there are going to be loads more of those coming, I feel. And I'm really getting a little bit better with my music. And I've even had the dragons come in with some tones that I can share during some of these containers to create harmonics. So I'm working how to bring in the tones, more of the tones into that, and more of my frequency into these, not aside from the music, but my voice frequency in these tones into these containers. But I don't have a singing voice, so I'm playing with some some effects and things so that it can at least sound harmonic. Because if it sounds like a cat that's maybe having a fight with the neighbor's cat, that's not really going to be a really nice harmonic space for people to be in, and to play things that they can listen to or the animals can listen to. So, yeah, so I've got some really, really, really interesting stuff lined up, and I feel really, really good about this new space that I have to put these things in, because for now, it remains untainted by the noise of this world, the greed of this world, the ads, the just the the mess of stuff just flying at us at the moment, vying for our attention. It is peaceful, it is sacred, and it is contained. No ads, no interruptions, just frequency. So thank you all so much for listening to my story here today. I did want to just really impart with you how much this has affected me. The sad thing is that, all of those other videos I have taken down. So I have lost all the comments and that kind of thing. But it doesn't matter. I know that the right people will find this new channel. And even if they don't subscribe to my main channel, this one here on Being Magic, they can if they just like the containers and that, they can just subscribe to that one, because there won't really be me on there sharing videos like this. It'll be containers and that kind of thing. So thank you all so much for being here. Again, thank you always, 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 always for all your support. It means the world to me. The community that we are building here means so much more to me than any monetary value. And we'll just continue to press on as we do this. Sending you all so much love during this time. I do hope that you find the little mini activations in preparation for the 8/8 portal that are coming out today, actually later today. I do hope you find those as beautiful as I found creating them. I think they're going to be something a little bit different. And although the cats that came through shared so much wisdom with me, I just really wanted to put one little sentence from them in each message that just felt the most potent for what energy they want to bring in as we open up to allowing in more of this feline and dragon energy to come together again in this way. Remember, the magic is real. All of this other stuff isn't, and it's just breaking down. And the seas are a little bit rough at times, but it is breaking down, make no mistake. That's why we are in these choppy waters at the moment. Wishing you all a magical rest of your day, wherever you are.